Now suppose I am taking the set of real numbers, and if in the set of real numbers I take two real number a into b, I take two real number a and b and multiply it, and suppose its product is 0, then you know it very well that without being either a to be 0 or b to be 0, this product will never come to be 0. But in general, in rings this does not happen. For example, you take Z6. Z6 is a ring with respect to plus and dot, and I take two elements. Suppose I take 2 and I take 3 and I take the product of them. So it will become 6 bar, and 6 bar is nothing but 0 bar. So same thing if you will multiply it like this. So in ring, without being any one of these two 0, the product is 0. So it may happen in ring. Another example, suppose I take 2 cross 2 matrices over R, 2 cross 2 matrices, and I take two matrix. Suppose I take 1 0 0 0, this is one matrix, and I take another matrix to be 0 0 0 1. Then what will be the product? So as you can see, the product is 0 0. And what about this product? 0 0 0 1 and 1 0 0 0. So the first row is 0 and the second row is again 0. So again for this matrix, either we multiply this with this or this with this, you will get 0. Take another example. Suppose I take 1 0 0 0 and I take another matrix 0 0 1 1. Then what will happen if you will multiply? The first row will become 0 and the second row will become 0. But if I will multiply from left the same matrix, then what will happen? This will give you 0 0 and this will give you 1 0. So it is non-zero. So it may happen from here to here it is 0, but when you change the direction then it is non-zero. So it may also happen, and this may also happen. Take one more example. Suppose I take the set of all continuous function from 0 1. So take this is a ring plus and dot is given like f dot g of x is equal to fx into gx. So like this it is defined. So over this ring, if I take two functions, suppose I have one function fx which is 0, this is half suppose, and this is 1, this is 0. From 0 to half it is 0. So it is 0 when x is in between 0 to half, and for x in between half to 1, its value is x minus half. So at half it is 0, so it is compatible, and now at x is equal to 1 it is half. Suppose half is here, so it is 1 like this. So its graph will look like this. So it is fx, and take another function just opposite of this, gx to be opposite means, so this is fx, and now I take gx to be 0 1, and this is half suppose, and I take this is also half. So from here to here it is, its value is half, and otherwise its value is 0. So its value is half. Its value is 1 by 2 minus x. So x is equal to 0, 1 by 2, and x is equal to 1 by 2, 0. Yes, it's okay. And x is varying from 0 to half. So it is a function like this, and its value is 0 when x is in between half to 1. So these are the two functions. When you will take its product, f dot g, when you will determine, and for any point either this part is 0 or this part is 0, so the product will be 0. So again this f dot g is 0. Even if f is not 0 and g is not 0, then f dot g is 0. So it may happen that two elements of the rings are not 0, but their product is 0. So I am going to define a new term that is called zero divisor. So I am going to define actually two terms, left zero divisor and right zero divisor. So left zero divisor, left zero divisor. So an element A in a ring R is called left zero divisor if there exists a non-zero B in R such that A dot B is equal to 0. So A is on the left side of B, so that's why it is left zero divisor. So for example, this 2 is the left zero divisor of 3. For example, this element is the left zero divisor of this. This element is the left zero divisor of this. This element is left zero divisor of this. Sorry. In the definition it is called left zero divisor. So it does not mean left zero divisor of this element. So this 2 is the left zero divisor because there exists a 3 such that 2 into 3 is 6. This 1 0 0 0 is the left zero divisor because there exists a element non-zero such that their product is 0. Similarly, this is left zero divisor in the ring because there exists another element which is such that when you will take the product it will give you 0. This is also left zero divisor because there exists some element through which when you will multiply from the right you will get 0. Similarly, this fx is a left zero divisor because f into g is 0. It may also happen that these two elements are same, it may also happen. For example, if you take a matrix like 0 1 0 0 and 0 1 0 0, then you will get 0 0 0 0. So this is the left zero divisor by our definition because there exists a non-zero element that may be the same element such that their product is 0. Now as we have defined the left zero divisor, on the same way we can define the right zero divisor. Just we will switch this thing. So let me write it. So an element A in R is called right zero divisor if there exists a non-zero B in R such that so A is right zero divisor, so I will keep A2 on the right side, this is 0. So example is before you, this is the right zero divisor of this element, this is the right zero divisor. Once again I am making mistake, this is the right zero divisor because there exists a non-zero element such that this product is 0. This is also the right zero divisor because there exists one element like this such that their product is 0. Okay, so it does not mean that this is the right zero divisor of this element. There may be several other elements for which this product is 0. For example, if you will take 2 here, again it is 0. Okay, so this element is called right zero divisor. It does not depend upon what element we have chosen here, or it is the right zero divisor of this element. We will call this element to be the right zero divisor, that's all. Okay. Similarly, this Gx is the right zero divisor of f. Sorry, this Gx is the right zero divisor because there exists a non-zero f such that f into g is equal to 0. Now we will come to see some observation, but before that let me do one more thing. So what is zero divisor? So an element A in R is called zero divisor if A is both left zero divisor and right zero divisor. That is, there exists not equal to 0 B1 and there exists not equal to 0 some B2 such that A into B1 is equal to 0 and B2 into A is equal to 0. These elements may differ, but there exist elements such that when you will multiply A from left side gives you 0, multiply A from right side gives you 0. So if this is happening, then A will be called as zero divisor. So clearly 0 is a zero divisor. 0 is always a zero divisor, either multiply from left or right you will get 0. But there may be several other elements which are zero divisor. For example, this element is the zero divisor because both elements are same and you multiply, either write it in this here or either you write in left or you write in right, you will get 0. So this is the zero divisor. In Z6, as we have given the example, 2 into 3 is 0. So also 3 into 2 is 0. So 2 is a zero divisor, both left and right, and 3 is also a zero divisor, both left and right. So zero divisors mean left zero divisor as well as right zero divisor. Okay, now we will see some observation on this zero divisors.